So 1 in 2 Americans have a chronic disease, and unfortunately 1 in 4 have multiple chronic diseases. And if you really look into the science of disease, the vast majority of it comes down to how we choose to live our life. And we often mistake hereditary diseases for compounded poor choices passed down through us by generation to generation. How we choose to live our life is medicine, and the choices that we make create an energetic habitat for our cells in our body. And if we constantly create a poor habitat, it's going to tell our DNA how to act. And if you want to get into the science of it, there was a meta-analysis done in 2019 in the Lancet called The Health Effects of Dietary Risk in 195 Countries. And this study examined the correlation between poor diets and the uprise of chronic disease all around the world. And the scientists determined that poor diet kills around 11 million people all around the world every single year. But overall, it starts with our choices because that's the catalyst and that's how we view ourselves. If you see something as a situation that you can't get out of or that you're born with, you're not going to try that hard to get out of it.
Greetings of love, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. I'm Dr. Akila, and today I'm going to do a pretty short video in reference to dis-ease or diseases and how they're not hereditary. And believe it or not, in 2025, that's a controversial take. I am familiar that a lot has changed. A lot has changed on YouTube. A lot has changed in alternative medicine. A lot has changed in society. A lot has changed since I first started my channel. I think it was 10 years ago, maybe longer than that, maybe 15 years ago. I don't remember because I haven't checked when I started the channel. It doesn't matter, right? And for those of you who are wondering why I don't start a new channel, because YouTube is not contacting at least 98% of the people subscribed, is because I have dealt with so many clients all over the world and they know me by this channel. But when I first started this channel, there were things that we could just say that were true. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had a client yesterday and her mother wanted to sit in on the consultation, which is never a problem with me. And so during the process, you know, my new client, this is a new client that was referred to me by my older client who has been with me for well over 8 years, right? Or maybe 9, because she hasn't hit the 10-year mark yet. And this is her sister. So the sister, my new client, has high blood pressure. And her mother was sitting in and saying that high blood pressure is hereditary, and that's the reason why she got it. And the way I handle it was pretty awesome. Normally when someone says something like that, I kind of like am straightforward saying, that's not true. Where did you get that from? Why are you repeating these crazy things? And as I gotten older, I decided to take a different step to these type of things. And what I did was just try to get an understanding of where her mind is, or shall I say was. So I asked her, why would you think that disease is hereditary? Why do you think that she was destined to have high blood pressure? No matter if she changed her diet, no matter if she exercised, no matter if she stopped drinking these particular liquids that I don't want her to drink, no matter what she did, she would still get high blood pressure. And her mother said yes, because her mother, which is my client's grandmother, had high blood pressure was on high blood pressure medicine, and she had high blood pressure. The father has high blood pressure. Then, of course, the grandfather has high blood pressure. So everybody in the family, from the grandfather to the grandmother to the mother and the deceased father, because I found something pretty interesting when it comes to her family tree. All the men in her family, including her brothers. Now, her younger brother is still alive, but her older brothers, she had 3, they all passed away. And her grandfather died early, as well as her dad died early. And these men died of either a stroke, or they died of a heart attack, or they died of complications with their heart, which was related to heart disease. The women were pretty interesting. The women all had high blood pressure, but they also had diabetes as well. So my client, when she was diagnosed by the medical institution or her medical doctor that she had high blood pressure, she wanted to hire me to make sure she doesn't get diabetes, and she wanted to know what she had to do to change her diet. And that's where I came in, and that's where her mom wanted to sit in on the consultation, because she wanted to see if she could do something to not reverse the diabetes, not reverse the high blood pressure, but to keep it under control so she doesn't have to worry about her doctor upping her insulin. So I asked her, what makes you think that high blood pressure and diabetes is hereditary? I know what you're thinking, like your parents had it and you have it, and then your deceased husband had high blood pressure, but you think that you passed that down and not your habits. And that's what I want you guys to understand. It's not the the gene. It's totally not the gene. It's just that her grandparents did not eat right. They also had a lot of stress. The same thing with the parents, and she just adopted the same thing. When it comes to high blood pressure, I can always tell about the eating regimen that they have received from their parents, the environment, also the culture and the customs and what they drink and don't drink. Lots of sugary drinks. So I think that's the reason why the mother was afraid of her getting diabetes. Not, with her believing that it's hereditary, but she's eating the same junk as her mother, as her grandmother, as her father, as her grandfather. Like, she did not break the tradition of a bad diet. So let me tell you about the diet of my client, her mother's diet, her grandmother's diet, and her deceased grandfather and her deceased father's diet. What they all had in common is they all ate meat. They all ate heavy meats. They all ate salty meat, especially from the pig. We understand the pig is a savage animal, and when you kill it, the flesh will rot as soon as possible, and a lot of chemicals are added to the flesh, especially a lot of sodium. Pork is very high in sodium because it's used as a preservative to prevent the flesh from rotting or decaying, and that's the reason why out of all the meats, sodium is very high in pork or any meat that comes from the pig. So you already have a meat that's high in sodium that's used as a preservative, and then when you put it on the grill or you bake it or you fry it, then you're adding more sodium to it. And this is the reason why heart disease is so rampant in the Black community, amongst Black people. They die more of heart disease than any diseases out there, and it's because of the diet. Stress also play a role in it as well, and I can't say this for the Black community, I just had to say this for people in general. They don't know how to manage their stress. They don't know how to eliminate stress, and therefore that in itself is going to cause some problems when it comes to having heart disease, and then they have high blood pressure. And this is going to shock some of you all, but I've noticed a pattern with people who have been diagnosed with high blood pressure medication, and that they all are consumers of coffee. Isn't that something? Now, of course, coffee is not good for you, especially if you have fibroids, ovarian cysts, PMS, any kind of female reproductive system issues. You should not drink coffee. You should stay away from caffeine. But I found it interesting that the grandparents were heavy coffee drinkers. The parents were heavy coffee drinkers, except the mom still drinks coffee, but not as much. She used decaf, which is worse than coffee, believe it or not. But she drinks about no more than 4 cups of decaf coffee. And also the daughter, which is my client, drinks about 2 or 3 cups of regular coffee if she doesn't get something from Starbucks. So I began to explain to the mother that it's not that she has a genetic illness that she got from you and you got from your own mother. you will pass down your bad eating habits, your bad lifestyle, also how you deal with stress. You really don't. You all tend to keep things bottled up inside and don't let it out. And if you do let it out, you let it out in a very toxic manner, which is going to add more stress to your life. But I'm not going to make this video too long. I just wanted to say that no, disease is not hereditary. It's the lifestyle. If your parents have high blood pressure or diabetes or whatever, right? You are not destined to have it as long as you change the diet and be completely different than how they eat and what they eat, what they drink, like the sodas, the Kool-Aid, the caffeine, lack of water. Like a lot of people don't want to drink water these days. They always say, "We don't have no taste." Well, it's not supposed to have a taste. It's water. And when you understand that the body is mostly made of water, it's just a sad sight to see people dehydrate their bodies by not drinking water. First of all, let's be clear. Coffee and sodas and a lot of these caffeinated drinks dehydrate the body anyway, and so without replenishing the body with water, it's just going to make it even worse. But if anybody has any specific questions in the comments or need me to go into detail and talk about the studies and the scientific proof of this, I would be happy to do so. But I just want to show you all that if you were to do the opposite of your parents, you would not get their diseases or a disease if they only got that one thing. But if you do what they do, if you think the way they think, if you live the way they live, if you eat and drink exactly, not even exactly, if you just do even 60% of what they do, you're going to get you're going to get similar results that they're getting. So just do better, eat better. And after explaining this to the mother, she began to understand. Does she believe me? Probably not. Doesn't matter. But she has no intentions of changing her diet. She just wants to know what pill to take. And that's such the lazy way of not taking accountability for your health. You don't want to work on your thinking. You don't want to work on, moving the body often, every day as possible, not sitting still and watching TV, not sitting still and watching the monitor. You gotta move. But if you just learn to live the opposite of the way your parents have lived, have eaten, how they consume liquids, and how they deal with their mind, your outcome as far as health, as far as longevity, be completely different. Don't believe me? Do it. If you are a teenager or you're in your early 20s, even if you're in your 30s and you're noticing that you're getting the same type of illness as your parents, just go ahead on the 30 days. Just 30 days. Just do it for 30 days. Just do the opposite of 30 days. If you don't know what to do, you can always schedule an appointment with me. I'll be happy to tell you what you have to do. And you will notice a huge change in your body. You'll notice the pains will start going away. You'll notice that the medication, the doctor's going to lessen it. A lot of things change for the better. And you should want a quality of life in addition to have a longer life. But I'm gonna stop because, like I said, I wasn't gonna make this video that long, and it is getting a little longer. But that's all I have to say about that. But if you have any questions, let me know. This is Dr. Akila. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, if you have a question, let me know in the comments section, and I'll be happy to address it. Okay? Peace and blessings.